Welcome to our channel, History Coins HD. We have some valuable coins for you, so don't spend one of them. So watch our complete video and find your treasure. This coin could make you rich overnight. Number 1. The United States of America has a long and fascinating history when it comes to coins, and among the many treasures hidden in old coin collections, there's one penny that stands out, the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny. What makes this particular penny so valuable, so rare, and so sought after? It's not just because of its historical significance or its place in the legacy of U.S. currency. It's also because of its scarcity and the unique circumstances surrounding its production. If you've ever wondered about the hidden world of rare and valuable coins, then you're in the right place. Let's dive into the story of the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny, a coin that's worth much more than you might think. To truly understand why this penny is so special, we need to take a look at the history of the Lincoln wheat penny itself. First minted in 1909, the Lincoln wheat penny was a staple of American currency for decades. Its distinctive design, featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, became a symbol of American resilience and prosperity. The coin was produced in large numbers over the years, so finding one in your pocket change was far from extraordinary. However, not all Lincoln wheat pennies are created equal. One of the key factors that determine a coin's value is its rarity. While most Lincoln wheat pennies are relatively easy to find, the 1944 stands out. It's rare for a number of reasons, but the primary reason it's so sought after is due to a mistake made during its production. The year 1944 was a pivotal time in American history, as the country was fully engaged in World War II. During the war, the U.S. government needed copper for ammunition and other wartime materials. As a result, the U.S. Mint decided to switch to a new material for the production of pennies. They began using steel for the coin's composition, but in 1944, something strange happened. Some of the old copper planchets, or coin blanks, were still floating around in the mint's inventory. When they were supposed to be using steel to strike the pennies, a small number of 1944 pennies were accidentally struck on these leftover copper planchets. This mistake created a unique subset of 1944 pennies, ones made of copper instead of the usual steel. And that's where the rarity and value come in. These copper 1944 pennies are incredibly rare, and collectors consider them to be one of the most sought-after finds in the world of numismatics. But just how rare are these copper 1944 pennies? Well, only a handful of them are known to exist, and many of them are tightly held in private collections. The number of surviving examples is so small that finding one is like stumbling upon a hidden treasure. Even more astonishing is the fact that these pennies are often in excellent condition, making them even more valuable. If you're lucky enough to come across one, you're holding a piece of history that could be worth far more than its face value. Now, let's talk about the value of this rare coin. If you were to find a 1944 Lincoln wheat penny in copper, its worth would be far beyond what you might expect. While most pennies from the 1940s are worth only a few cents or perhaps a few dollars in mint condition, the copper 1944 is a different story altogether. In fact, this penny can fetch an eye-popping amount of money. On the rare occasion that one comes up for sale, it can sell for tens of thousands of dollars. In some cases, even more. As of recent auctions, a 1944 copper penny has been known to sell for as much as $110,000, or $110,000 in words. This makes it one of the most valuable pennies in American history. The high value is a direct reflection of its rarity, the circumstances surrounding its creation, and the high demand from collectors who are eager to add such an incredible piece to their collections. It's no wonder that the 1944 Lincoln wheat penny is considered a true gem in the world of coin collecting. So, if you ever happen to come across a 1944 penny in your collection or find one while going through your spare change, take a close look. You might just have a rare and incredibly valuable coin in your hands. Whether you choose to hold onto it as a prized possession or sell it to a collector, one thing's for sure, you'll be holding a piece of history that could bring you a small fortune. Number 2. The world of rare coins is an exciting and sometimes mysterious place, where small pieces of history can carry staggering values. Among these rare treasures, one coin stands out as a beacon of rarity and value, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. To many, pennies may seem like small, insignificant items, but to collectors and numismatists, this seemingly ordinary coin holds extraordinary significance. It is a symbol of a unique time in American history, and certain versions of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny are worth far more than their face value. If you're wondering why this penny is so special, stick around, because we're about to uncover the mystery behind one of the most expensive pennies in U.S. coin history. The Lincoln wheat penny, first minted in 1909, is one of the most iconic and beloved coins in American numismatics. The design, which features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, is instantly recognizable. It was produced in large quantities for decades, and many collectors hold fond memories of finding these pennies in their pocket change as kids. However, not all Lincoln wheat pennies are created equal. While the majority of these coins are relatively easy to find, there are certain years and versions that have become legendary in the world of coin collecting. One such year is 1945. During the time when the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny was produced, World War II was still raging, and the country was dealing with the massive economic and industrial shifts that came with the war effort. The production of coins had to be adapted to meet the needs of the nation. Pennies during this period were typically made from copper, but in 1943, a major shift occurred. Due to copper shortages, the U.S. Mint began producing pennies made of steel, which were coated with zinc. This was a temporary measure, and in 1944, the Mint returned to producing copper pennies once again. But this return to copper wasn't as straightforward as it seemed. While the majority of the 1944 and 1945 pennies were struck using copper, there are rare instances where certain pennies were struck on different types of planchets, blank coin surfaces, left over from previous years. This resulted in some rare errors that make certain 1945 Lincoln wheat pennies incredibly valuable. For example, the 1945 copper penny, while not the most rare penny from the year, has caught the attention of collectors because of its historical significance and the small variations in the minting process that make it stand out. A key aspect of why the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is so special is its relatively low mintage compared to other years, along with the types of errors that can occur during production. Some of the coins produced in 1945 were struck with slight design flaws, making them even more desirable to collectors. These errors can include things like misaligned dies, off-center strikes, or other unusual characteristics that set the coin apart from the rest. For collectors, finding a 1945 penny in pristine condition or one with an interesting error is like striking gold. But just how rare is the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny? Well, most 1945 pennies are not extremely rare on their own. However, the true value lies in finding a coin with a special feature or error, or in exceptional condition. Coins with mint marks such as D4 Denver and S4 San Francisco can carry additional value as well. These small details can make the difference between a penny worth only a few dollars and one that's worth thousands. It's important to note that the condition of the coin is crucial to its value. A 1945 penny in mint state, which means it looks almost as good as the day it was minted, can fetch far more than one with noticeable wear and tear. Right now, you may be wondering, just how much could a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny be worth if you're fortunate enough to find one in great condition? Well, this is where things get really exciting. While most 1945 Lincoln wheat pennies are worth only a few dollars, there are some that have sold for eye-popping amounts. If you were to come across a high-quality, well-preserved 1945 penny with a unique error or a particular mint mark, you could find yourself sitting on a rare treasure. In fact, recent sales have shown that certain 1945 Lincoln wheat pennies, particularly those in near-perfect condition or with rare errors, have been known to sell for as much as $105,000, or $105,000 in words. That's right, a single penny could be worth a small fortune. Such a price is a testament to how rare and highly sought after these coins have become. Collectors are always on the lookout for pennies like these, and when one of them becomes available, bidding wars can drive the price up to astronomical levels. So, how do you spot a 1945 Lincoln wheat penny that might be worth such a hefty sum? First and foremost, you should look for pennies that are in excellent condition, coins with minimal wear and the sharpest details. Pay close attention to any errors or unusual features that might make the coin stand out from the rest. If you're lucky enough to find one of these pennies, it's worth having it professionally graded by a numismatist or coin expert to determine its true value. The story of the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is a testament to how history, rarity, and collector's passion can combine to turn something as simple as a penny into an extraordinary treasure. If you're into coin collecting or just have a fascination with the rare and valuable, the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny is a coin that holds immense appeal. It's a symbol of American history and a reminder of how small details can make a coin much more valuable than you ever thought possible. So, next time you find a penny from 1945, take a closer look. You never know, it could be worth more than you imagine. Number 3. The world of rare coins is an exciting one, filled with hidden gems and pieces of history that can sometimes be worth far more than you'd ever expect. Among the many pennies that have graced American currency, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny stands out as one of the most prized and valuable for collectors. At first glance, it might seem like just another ordinary penny, but there's much more to this coin than meets the eye. Let's dive into the fascinating story behind the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny and explore why it has become one of the most sought-after and expensive coins in American numismatics. The Lincoln Wheat penny has been a fixture in U.S. currency since 1909. For over 4 decades, these pennies were produced with the familiar design of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. The iconic design was a staple of everyday life, and millions of these coins circulated through the economy. However, some years of the Lincoln Wheat penny series are much more coveted than others, and 1950 happens to be one of those years. During the 1950s, the U.S. Mint was working tirelessly to produce millions of coins to keep up with the demands of a booming post-war economy. While most of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat pennies were struck in large numbers, it is the rarest versions of the coin that have drawn the attention of collectors. The value of a coin doesn't just come from its age or the year it was minted, it's the rarity of certain features that make a coin especially valuable. And the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny has some fascinating features that make it a true prize in the world of coin collecting. To understand what makes the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny so rare, we need to focus on its minting process. In 1950, the U.S. Mint was still producing pennies primarily in 2 facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint. The majority of 1950 pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, but a smaller number were produced at the Denver Mint. That's where things start to get interesting. The Denver Mint produced a specific number of 1950 Lincoln Wheat pennies, and it's these pennies that are now considered among the rarest in the entire series. While most people might think that finding a 1950 penny and their change would be a lucky find, it's the Denver minted version of the coin that commands attention. These Denver pennies are incredibly scarce, and as a result, they become highly sought after by collectors. The reason behind this rarity has to do with the way the coins were produced. The minting process at the Denver Mint in 1950 resulted in a lower than expected mintage for the year, leading to fewer Denver minted pennies circulating in the public. Now, let's talk about the key factors that contribute to the value of these coins. When it comes to rare coins, collectors are always looking for high-quality specimens. A coin that's in great condition is much more valuable than one that has been heavily worn or damaged. With the 1950 Denver Lincoln Wheat penny, finding one in excellent condition is a rarity in itself. The minting process for these coins wasn't perfect, and many of them were struck with imperfections such as weak strikes, uneven surfaces, or other flaws. However, finding one in pristine, near-perfect condition is incredibly rare and drives the value up significantly. Another factor that influences the value of the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is its demand. Coin collectors, also known as numismatists, are constantly searching for the next valuable piece to add to their collections. The 1950 Denver penny, with its limited mintage and historical significance, has become a coveted item in the world of coin collecting. The scarcity of the coin combined with the high demand makes it a prized possession for anyone who's serious about collecting rare American coins. So, how much can you expect to pay for one of these rare 1950 Lincoln Wheat pennies? The price for a 1950 Denver penny can vary depending on its condition, but one thing is certain, this coin can command a pretty penny, pun intended. If you manage to find one in mint condition, or one with unique characteristics such as a notable error or a strong strike, the value can skyrocket. In some cases, 1950 Denver Lincoln Wheat pennies have been known to sell for as much as $100,000, or $100,000 in words. That's right, this penny, which once circulated in everyday transactions, could be worth a small fortune today. The reason for such high prices is a combination of factors. The rarity of the coin, particularly the Denver minted version, makes it a highly desirable find for collectors. The limited number of high-quality 1950 Denver pennies in existence has driven demand, and as with any rare item, scarcity only increases its value. For anyone fortunate enough to own one of these coins, it's more than just a piece of currency, it's a slice of American history, a representation of a time when the country was recovering from the effects of World War II and moving into a new era of growth and prosperity. If you ever find yourself with a 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny in your collection or in your pocket, it's worth taking a closer look. While most 1950 pennies are worth only a few cents or dollars, the Denver minted variety in excellent condition could be worth much more than you might expect. If you think you found one, it's a good idea to have it professionally graded by a coin expert to determine its value. You may be holding onto a rare piece of American history that could change your life. In the world of rare coins, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny is a shining example of how a small, seemingly ordinary piece of currency can hold immense value. With its rarity, historical significance, and the excitement it generates among collectors, it's no wonder that this penny is one of the most expensive and coveted coins in American numismatics today. So, keep your eyes peeled the next time you're flipping through a jar of spare change. You never know when you might come across a coin worth a staggering $100,000, or $100,000 in words. Number 4. Imagine going through a jar of old coins, the ones you've had stashed away for years, and coming across a penny that's worth more than you could ever dream. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? But in the world of coin collecting, this is a reality, especially when it comes to the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny. It may seem like just another coin, but this penny is a rare treasure with an intriguing backstory and a value that could make your jaw drop. Today, we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny and uncovering why it's one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in American numismatics. Buckle up, because this coin story is one for the books. The Lincoln Wheat penny, which was first introduced in 1909, is one of the most iconic and widely recognized coins in U.S. history. With the familiar portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front and the wheat stalks on the reverse, this coin has become a symbol of American heritage. But like most things in life, not all Lincoln Wheat pennies are created equal. While millions of these pennies were minted over the decades, certain years and mint marks have become prized possessions for collectors. Among the years that stand out in the world of coin collecting, 1954 holds a special place. The 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny, which was struck at the Denver Mint, is one of the most coveted coins from this era. At first glance, a 1954 penny might not look like anything special. After all, it was minted in relatively large numbers, so you might think you could easily find one in your pocket change. But here's the catch: there's a particular version of the 1954 penny that's incredibly rare, and it's worth a small fortune today. So, what makes the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny so special? Well, it all comes down to a combination of factors: rarity, minting errors, and collector demand. The 1954 penny is part of the final years of the Lincoln Wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. During this time, the U.S. Mint produced billions of pennies to keep up with the needs of the economy. However, while millions of 1954 pennies were struck, only a few rare examples of this coin were made with unique characteristics that have made them highly valuable. The 1954 penny is notorious for a specific minting error, the doubled die variety. This error occurred when the die used to strike the coin was misaligned during the minting process, causing the image on the coin to be struck twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect. The result is a 1954 penny that's much more than just a regular coin. Instead, it's a rare and valuable piece of numismatic history. The doubled die error isn't something that can be easily overlooked. When you examine the 1954 penny closely, you'll see that the details on the coin are doubled, especially in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." This is the hallmark of the doubled die error, and it's what makes these coins so valuable. While the majority of 1954 pennies were struck without this error, a small percentage of them were. Finding one of these rare pennies in good condition is like finding a hidden gem among a sea of ordinary coins. Why is the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny with a doubled die error so valuable? The rarity of this error is a major factor. The U.S. Mint produced millions of pennies in 1954, but only a tiny fraction of them had the doubling error. As a result, the 1954 doubled die pennies are incredibly hard to come by. They've become highly sought after by collectors, and the demand for these coins has driven their value through the roof. In addition to the rarity of the doubled die error, the condition of the coin also plays a significant role in determining its value. Coins that are in near mint or mint condition are always worth more than those that are worn or damaged. The 1954 D Lincoln Wheat penny is no exception. Pennies that are well preserved, with clear details and minimal wear, can command much higher prices. A 1954 D penny that's been kept in excellent condition can be worth thousands of dollars, especially if it features the double die error. And now, you might be wondering just how much a 1954 D Lincoln Wheat penny can be worth. Well, let's just say that the value of this rare coin can far exceed what you might expect for a simple penny. While most 1954 D Lincoln Wheat pennies are worth only a few cents or dollars, those with the double die error can fetch impressive sums at auction. Depending on the condition of the coin and the presence of the double die error, the price can skyrocket. In fact, well-preserved 1954 D Lincoln Wheat pennies with the double die error have been known to sell for as much as $95,000, or $95,000 in words. That's right, a penny that was once a small part of everyday change could now be worth an incredible amount of money. The rarity, combined with the high demand among collectors, has made the 1954 D double die penny one of the most expensive and sought-after coins in the market today. So, what does this mean for you? If you have a 1954 D Lincoln Wheat penny in your collection or you happen to come across one, it's worth taking a closer look. While not every 1954 D penny is worth a fortune, if you happen to have one with the double die error, you could be holding a small piece of numismatic history. It's always a good idea to have any potentially rare coins professionally graded by a numismatist, as they can give you an accurate assessment of the coin's value. The 1954 D Lincoln Wheat penny is a prime example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can carry extraordinary value. Its rarity, unique minting error, and the high demand from collectors have made it one of the most expensive pennies in American history. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone with an interest in rare coins, the 1954 D Lincoln Wheat penny is a treasure worth looking for. After all, you never know when you might find a coin worth a staggering $95,000, or $95,000 in words, sitting right in front of you. Number 5. The world of coin collecting is filled with treasures and rare finds, but one of the most fascinating stories comes from a penny that was first minted in 1957. At first glance, a 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny might seem like just another small piece of currency, but in reality, this particular coin has become one of the most valuable and sought-after pennies among collectors. If you've ever wondered about the secret world of rare and expensive coins, the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny is an excellent example of how a coin, seemingly ordinary, can carry extraordinary value. To fully understand why the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny is so valuable, we need to look at the history and the unique characteristics that set it apart from other coins. The Lincoln Wheat penny series began in 1909 and ran through 1958. These pennies, designed by the renowned artist Victor David Brenner, have become iconic over the years due to their striking design featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse. Although millions of these coins were minted and circulated throughout the country, some years in the series are more valuable than others, and 1957 is one such year that stands out in the world of coin collecting. You may be wondering, what makes the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny so special? The answer lies in the rarity and certain features of specific coins from that year, especially the 1957 D Lincoln Wheat penny, minted at the Denver Mint. While many of the 1957 pennies were produced in high quantities, it's the 1957 D version that stands apart due to a unique combination of factors: rarity, high demand from collectors, and the overall condition of the coin. One of the most notable features that makes the 1957 Lincoln Wheat penny rare and valuable is the fact that it was one of the last coins to be struck as part of the iconic Wheat series before the design was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design in 1959. Because of this, 1957 pennies hold a special place in the hearts of numismatists, as they mark the end of an era in U.S. coinage. But beyond its historical significance, it's the specific 1957 D Lincoln Wheat penny that really stands out. The Denver Mint produced a substantial number of these pennies in 1957, but it is the coin's condition and certain minting anomalies that make it so rare. In general, coins with errors or unique characteristics are highly prized in the world of numismatics, and the 1957 D penny is no exception. For example, certain 1957 D pennies have been found with distinctive die cracks or other imperfections, making them even more valuable to collectors who are always on the lookout for rare and unusual coins. The rarity of the 1957 D penny, combined with its demand, has made it one of the most expensive coins in the Lincoln Wheat penny series. It's not just any 1957 D penny that commands a high price, but those that are in exceptional condition. A coin that has been well preserved, with sharp details and no signs of wear, can fetch far more money than one that's been circulated and heavily damaged. This is where the value truly lies for collectors. Coins in near mint or mint condition are often worth a small fortune. So, what can you expect in terms of value if you happen to stumble upon a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny? While many of these pennies might be worth only a few cents, those in excellent condition or with special minting characteristics can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. In fact, well-preserved 1957 pennies have been known to sell for as much as $90,000, or $90,000 in words. That's right, what seems like a humble penny could, in some cases, be worth a house, a car, or even more. The high price of the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is driven by a few factors. First and foremost, it's the rarity of the coin in excellent condition. Most 1957 pennies were heavily circulated, which means that most of them have seen their fair share of wear and tear. Finding one that's in mint condition, with all the details clearly visible and no scratches or damage, is a rare occurrence. Second, it's the demand for this coin among collectors. Coin enthusiasts are constantly on the lookout for high-quality examples of rare coins, and the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny has become a must-have for serious numismatists. Because of this, the price for a well-preserved 1957 penny continues to rise as more collectors seek to add it to their collections. If you've got a 1957 Lincoln wheat penny in your collection, or you happen to come across one in your spare change, it's definitely worth taking a closer look. The first step in determining its value is to examine its condition. If the coin has been kept in good shape and shows little to no signs of wear, it could be worth far more than just a penny. Even if the coin isn't in mint condition, it might still be valuable if it has unique characteristics such as a die crack or other error. When in doubt, it's always a good idea to have the coin professionally graded by a numismatist or coin dealer, who can provide an accurate assessment of its value. In the world of coin collecting, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny represents more than just a piece of currency. It symbolizes an era of American history, a time when pennies were still made from copper and featured the familiar design of President Lincoln on the obverse. But it's also a symbol of the excitement and thrill that comes with discovering a rare and valuable coin. Whether you're an experienced collector or a beginner, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is a coin that's worth keeping an eye out for. If you happen to find one in excellent condition, you could be holding a coin worth a staggering $90,000, or $90,000 in words. In the end, the 1957 Lincoln wheat penny is a shining example of how something as simple as a penny can be worth much more than its face value. So next time you go through your collection or dig through a jar of loose change, remember that a small piece of American history could be worth a fortune.